Looking at XRP, we had an incredible spike up in price followed by a decay. Normal technical analysis can't explain why this happens, but the CTKS method can. I'll show you how. By understanding structural resistance and structural support, you can do what I can do. And here we're just looking at the trade history from just this period. You can see this 806, it's just around here. The push up and what are the sell levels. You can see you can do incredibly well inside the market. And this is the kind of price behavior that we expect inside crypto. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can be consistently profitable, take advantage of spikes like these, and they happen all the time in crypto. Let's run the numbers. Crypto is an incredibly forgiving market, but when it comes to understanding where the buy and sell levels are, you require a statistical analysis. You will find that a lot of people talk about probabilities inside financial markets. Probabilities are the basis of statistics. The one thing that you need above everything is a statistically significant support or resistance level. When you know where the statistically significant resistance and support levels are, you can approach the markets with a confidence that's just uncommon. And you can see here, I'm not talking from an academic perspective. These are trade history results from XRP, just from today. And you can see all of these sell levels here. You can make a lot of money if you understand where you can buy and where you can sell. There's a little bit more to it. You have to understand the role of percentages, what support is and what resistance levels are. And there's a standards-based process to do this called Level 1 and Level 2 standard certification in the CTKS method. But the concept is, I could predict with absolute certainty that XRP was not going too much further than this, and I'll show you exactly why. I could also predict that down here there was a substantial amount of structural support. With normal technical analysis, this is impossible to do, but the CTKS method makes it possible. At the start, the CTKS method is pretty weird looking. After all, it marks up all of price history, but it does according to Level 1 and Level 2 standard certification, and it does it across all of price history. When we pop this indicator on, and this is just the indicator from the method monthly service, we could see that there was so much structural resistance up here. XRP had little to low probability of getting through it, and I knew this. When this was the case, I was placing my sell orders already in market when XRP's price was coming down. I was accounting for the fact that we could get up and tap that structural resistance like we have in the past. Also, when price came down, when it shot up, I was doing a video on my trading methodology, the CTKS method trading secrets, and the concept was I was saying to the video audience, do not FOMO in here, there's too much structural overhead, and if you didn't have the indicator, there would be no way on earth that you could tell that. I also said I'm going to place orders into the market all the way down to structural support, and those orders filled. You can see the structural support levels here. This is the way the price moves. It's always moving SL to SL. Often it's easier for people to see the price momentum in terms of SCs, not SLs. An SL is a Stanfield level. Those are those lines. They're called SLs or Stanfield levels because they mark up all of price history. They're very, very special. They're institutional grade levels of support and resistance. We can also see that we came down to very solid structural support levels down here. That's why I was accumulating in real time and shooting a video on it to explain how to use the CTKS method trading system. Financial markets are built on probability and statistics. When you know statistically probable levels, you can lean in at those levels and you can lean out when they become problematic. There was always the potential, because of this statistically significant resistance, to push down price, and it ended up pushing down price all the way to the base. And look at that, it's already bouncing up. Why is that? Because there's structural support down there. You can get the exact indicator I use to make my trades inside the service. When you find that you make learnings from financial markets, it's a really good idea to put rules together. Rule 240, CTKS Structure first. This means when you mark up your charts through the CTKS method, through objective dynamic market structure, that just specifically means the market structure, total market structure, will be changing on a monthly basis. That also means those support and resistance lines change around with changing price, and that would be expected as well. The key is to first look at the structure and determine your strategy. With XRP, and that's a tier 3 chart as part of the monthly service, it's vitally important to understand the tier 1 structure, the tier 2 and tier 3 CTKS structure. If you don't understand the structures, you literally are guessing inside financial markets. By understanding where statistically significant resistance is and statistically significant support is, structural support and structural resistance levels, drawn through a confidence of these SLs, marking up all the price action through the standards-based CTKS method, you can do trades like I do. I use the indicator from the monthly service. This is how I know where the particular levels of support and resistance are inside the market. One thing that the Masterclass students understand, we must look at the other charts in order to understand if market momentum is failing or just increasing. And yesterday's video, we talked about the S&P 500 coming up to a structural resistance level. We can see it's now tapping that and starting to retrace. I also mentioned yesterday that we could get a bit of a dip inside the DXY, the US dollar currency index, and get a bounce from that because we're getting into structural support areas. Even though Bitcoin is currently retracing, if you have the monthly indicator, you know that this particular area down from approximately 36 to 21 is incredibly strong structural support levels. Therefore, even if we come down in here, we'll get caught by all the buyers. For the gold bugs out there, when we look inside the service of the CTKS method paths, these are drawn from the start of the month and project to the end of the month. What you can see is we're following a normalized negative price path and we're getting that kick up as we expected. I talked about it in yesterday's video. I also explained that when it comes to US oil, it's starting to base and that structural support level is starting to push into oil. This is not such a good thing. This will fuel the yields to rise, the US dollar to rise. Why? Because oil is energy. Energy is inflationary. We've also seen the total crypto market cap has tried to challenge this internal structural resistance level, but not doing such a good job at the current time. But we anticipated this because we know that structural resistance level is there. All of these actions actually impact on XRP's price. When you have solid structural support underneath your specific chart, it means that it won't come down as much as what it would come down if that structural support was not there. When we get positive fresh air gaps, price can move up very quickly, but if we have negative fresh air gaps, price can collapse very quickly. Only the CTKS method and the markup inside the monthly service can tell you where these fresh air gaps actually exist. We've looked at the S&P 500. We understand that's coming up to structural resistance and it's just come down from there as we would expect it to do. The DXY is basing, moving into structural support. Bitcoin is above structural support but moving in there. Gold has bounced from structural support, as has US oil. Total crypto market cap is at structural resistance. When you have the CTKS Method monthly service, you get a trading view indicator for all of these charts. That's the indicator that I use to talk to you each and every day. Unfortunately, we cannot go through 27 trading view indicators in one video. It would just be too long. But if you have the service, you can look at it anytime you like. And we could see that if you are in XRP, you wouldn't be buying. As price was shooting up, you would be selling. It's vitally important to know where the structural levels are, and structure takes account of total market structure, all of price history, according to level 1 and level 2 standard certification. If you would like to learn more about the CTKS Method standard certification process, it's at ctksmethod.org, and more about the service, you can find it there. It literally cost me tens of millions of dollars to develop the CTKS Method, and nearly 4 decades inside financial markets. I share this system for a very specific reason that's known to the Masterclass students. A lot of people think that the CTKS Method is just a normal support or resistance based level method. It is not. It's something completely new. It's an invention that upgrades 270 years plus of candlestick pattern analysis. One thing I know, if somebody had handed me the CTKS Method when I started nearly 4 decades ago, I would have saved decades of losses. I would have known where the structure was inside the charts I was looking at. I would have understood fresh air gaps, intercorrelations and interconnections between charts. And I would have been able to become consistently profitable much earlier. I share these trades because the markets are quite tough at the moment, and I think it's important to understand you cannot sell up here if you don't buy down here. Your profits today were made yesterday. I hope you found this analysis useful. A lot of times people talk about zooming out as far as the time basis is concerned. It's still the same. That structural resistance and the structural support levels don't change until the month changes. I simply go into a lower time frame because it's very important for you to understand how price is changing. Traders are experts in timing. And that's what we do here. We're trading. If you weren't a trader, you couldn't take advantage of this upward surge in XRP. What I did here was basically sell the positions and then buy them back for a discount. That's what we do in real life. When things go on sale, we buy them. Inside financial markets, people do the opposite. When things get really expensive, they buy it and they sell it when it gets cheap. Professionals do the exact opposite thing, and it does take a long time to unwire this way of thinking. You'll find that when you do, it's incredibly profitable. Day in and day out, we prove the power of the CTKS Method and these structural levels. When you understand the system, when you understand how to do level 1 and level 2 standard certification, it will be an eye-opening experience on the markets. And that's every market. It's applicable to everything, not just crypto. You'll also be able to learn how to draw these CTKS Method paths that can help you to predict where price could be going next. The price paths are very powerful, and they rely on a structural understanding. Instead of getting freaked out when price just plummets, you'll be looking to enter at structural support levels. You'll understand how all the different charts intercorrelate and interconnect together. This is a professional level of knowledge. If you want to see what smart money sees, you can do so by learning the CTKS Method yourself or simply joining up to the service. Just try it for a month if you're hesitant. It's also important to understand that a lot of YouTubers do not have degrees in finance. They haven't had a statistical and probability background. They are not mathematicians in the main. There are some, but very few. Mathematicians look at price action completely differently to other people. I'm seeking to let you know what you need to know, not what you want to hear. The path to success does involve effort, and you already know that. Every success that you've had in your life has been hard won. And if it's not, you just give it back very quickly. Easy come, easy go. And the different things that I'm involved with are just listed in the About section on YouTube. You can just go to here and see the different things that I'm involved with. And one thing, please be aware that there are so many scammers out there. I want you to be more of a financial and emotional blessing to yourself and those you love. The only way that you can get yourself there is to know what you're doing. So that's what I'm focused on. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.